Guys and girls, it's Know It Time! Know It Time!
Okay, let's start. I have f of x equals to 3x squared plus 10. Yesterday, I asked you to find f prime of x. And what a lot of you did was something called the power rule. That was easy. You said, well, I'm going to take 2, bring it to the front, and multiply it together. That gives you 6x. The 10 becomes a 0. That was easy. This is known as a power rule. Okay. Before I start the next set of rules, I've had to teach you more abbreviations. F prime of x can also be written in another notation. See? F prime of x really was about the limit stuff. Lim as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x. By the way, do never forget this formula, because I'm going to be asking you about this formula in exam. I said you cannot use power rule, you must use a definition of a derivative. This is a true definition. The power rule was created when someone says, hey, look, there's a pattern. But in calculus, everyone reverts back to this ancient way of doing things. See, there's another way of representing limits, or f prime x. This is known as d something over dx. This means take the derivative, that's what d stands for. Take the derivative of blank. I'm going to show you what in a second. With respect to x. I'm going to highlight a few key things right now. I'm going to add it in and I'll show you. I'm going to put in f of x here. F of x. Okay. So that blank could be anything. G of x, f of x. So I'm going to put in f of x here. So when I say d f of x over dx, I'm going to use a bit more color coding. This dx is right here. This dx stands for with respect to x. Okay? See, this is a simple way of writing it. But calculus, they like to be more complex. And they say d f of x over dx. Tell me in English what this means. D over dy gy. Write down the English statement on what that means. Go. I'm going to pause it. See, let's start. Jasleen, what does this say, madam? Good. This says take the derivative of gy with respect to y. So if I tell you that gy equals to 4y squared minus 3y, now what they're asking you is, see, I don't have x anymore. So that's why this is not an x on the bottom. This on the bottom tells you what is respect to. This will play a huge role next week when I talk about time. And that's when people say, what the heck is going on? Because this little thing on the bottom is crucial to what you're taking the derivative of. I'm taking the derivative of gy, which I can rewrite this as g prime y equals to 8y minus 3. See, notice I'm using y's now instead of x. That's another way of writing it. It's a more complex, more fancy way. If I give you this question, by the way, some of you say, can I just read it right like this? The answer is yes for now. But get used to this format, because I would use this format a lot from now on. They all mean the exact same thing, except it's just a fancy way of writing it. Try this. Find gy. Well, I'm going to tell you what gy is. 6y cubed 7y 10 What does g prime y equal to? Have fun. Sorry, 3,560, yep. Y to power of 11? Right or wrong? Oh, a lot of people are shaking their head and saying no. So there has to be an error with this. Lovely, what do you have? 1260 to the power of 11? Y to power of 11. A lot of people nodding head. Karan shaking his head. How many agree? Just hands up. How many agree with this answer? 1, 2, 3. How many say no? That is nonsense. I don't think that's the right answer. 1. Karan, what do you have?
546 Y12.
546 Y12. Okay, so let's see who's right, who's wrong. Whoa. So let's figure it out. Would you agree? Let's simplify this right now. I don't know who the right answer is. Could be any one of you guys. If I simplify this, let's multiply this together. I take this and I times this. Just multiply them together. 6 times 7. Well, 6 times 7 is 42. Agree? 42. Y. Now here comes the fun parts. What's exponent? Grade 9. 13. Hey, look at this. Now go ahead, use the power rule for me, and we'll see who's right. And I believe 546 Y12 is correct. That's it. Whoa. Slow down there. When I ask this question, say, so can I just take the derivative of this times the derivative of that? The answer is no. Okay? What if I give you something like this? F of x, let's go back to x now, equals to 3x squared plus 2x minus 4 times 5x cubed minus 10x squared plus 4x minus 1. If I were to multiply that out and then take the derivative of that, it'd probably take me about 2 or 3 minutes, and I guarantee you I'm going to make a mistake somewhere. Because that's a really complex. It's going to take you about 3 lines just to solve this. So there has to be some way of doing this. This, I'm going to show you a shortcut of doing this. This is called the product rule. Now, the book gives you a definition of product rule. I'm going to copy word for word, and I'm going to show you how complex it is. So here's the true definition. D over dx. Isn't dx a wrestling team? F of x, g of x equals to f of x d over dx g of x plus gx d dx fx. That's the true formula. The question is, can anyone decode this and say, tell me what's this really saying? I'm going to pause it and let you. Formula really looks complicated, but if you don't know the English and how to convert this into English, you're going to say, what the heck is this talking about? The English behind this is very simple. If I want to take a derivative of 2 products, see? Think of this as f of x. Okay, let's highlight this now. We're going to call this f of x. I'm going to call this g of x because there's 2 different things. So if I want to take the g of x, if I want to take the derivative of those times together, I'm going to use this formula. Personally, I don't like this formula. Okay? It looks too complex. So I'm going to break it down to words. And I'm going to show you what this really means in words. Once you say this once, you will never forget it again. I kid you not. I met students at Walmart, and they come up to me and say, "Hey, Miss Snow, I actually remember exactly the poem you taught me, and it's very. Once you say it 3 times, you will never forget it ever again." And it goes something like this: d over dx f of x gx equals to this. We're gonna write down English. Forget about this nonsense math stuff. It's too complex for now. It says this: the derivative of the first times the second. I should write it in one straight line. Times the second plus derivative of the second times the first. Okay. I gotta pause it, and we're gonna practice saying this. So you gotta say this 3 times. I guarantee you, once you say 3 times, it's in your head for life. I said, hey, I created this when I was in university, and said, the question is, how do I use this? So I'm gonna give you a question, a slightly easier one. F of x equals to 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 times 4x plus 6. Here's how I use this. I'm going to use a little poem I've been teaching you. This is known as the first, because it's the first bracket. So take the derivative of the first right now. Go. Whoa. Derivative of the first, which is 6x plus 2. See? Times, Satinder, let's hear times what? Whoa, you just destroyed my poem. No. Say it again. Start from the beginning. Derivative of the? Whoa, no. Back row. Pragya, let's hear it. Height times the second. What the second really means is this. I leave the way it is. I don't touch the second. I just leave the second. This is known as the second. Okay? Plus. Okay? Again, I keep it simple. Sylvia, what's after that? Plus what? Good. So I take the derivative of the second now, which is simply 4. Times the first, which is 3x squared plus 2x minus 1. And I guarantee you, if you multiply and simplify it out, you get the perfect answer every single time. Go. Multiply it out and simplify for me. I'm going to be working the same pace as you, so try to follow along and look if you're lost. 24x squared plus 36x plus 8x plus 12 plus 12x squared plus 8x minus 4. Now we're going to simplify. So I see 36x squared. This is gone. That's 36 plus 8 is 44. That's 52x plus 8. Did I make a boo-boo? Nope. So therefore, f prime of x equals to that. That is called the product rule. Because why? It saves you a lot of time. And once you say it once, you will never forget it. This is called the product rule. Easy. The next rule is, what if I give you something like this? F of x equals to 3x plus 1 over x minus 2. I can use the limit on this, but it doesn't give me a lot of hard work. Because why? I have fractions on top of fractions. Because before, I made you do this on a limit. I think your test question was this. And I made you do the limit. But there's actually an easier way. This is known as the quotient rule. And here's how the quotient rule works. Quotient rule. Okay. Quotient rule. Again, I'm going to use the straight formula that the book gives you. And I'm going to show you how complex it is. And I'm going to show you how I make it easier. D over dx. F of x over gx equals to d dx fx gx minus fx, fx d dx gx over gx squared. Hi. So that is the actual formula of the quotient rule. If I were just to give you this formula, say, here, go for it. A lot of you say, must know, what the heck is that? Where are all the numbers at? But if I turn this into some easy way of saying this, it makes your life a lot easier. Using what I've taught you about the product rule, who thinks I can convert this into English, into something easy? Let's see. This says this. In reality, I'm not going to write it down because you should be able to follow along. Derivative of the first times the second minus derivative of the second times the first. It's almost the exact same thing as the product rule, except there's a minus. But we're not done yet. All over the second squared. So I want you that memorized. Now we go back to this question right here. F of x equals to 3x plus 1 over x minus 2. Go ahead. Apply the quotient rule. Don't look at this formula. If you try to look at this formula and follow along, it's going to be really complex. Remember the little poem. Derivative of the first times the second minus derivative of the second times the first over second squared. If you follow exactly what you just talked to yourself about, you will never get it wrong. And here's the sad part. You will never forget that formula. Even though you want to get rid of it in your head, it's stuck there for life. Okay, I'm going to follow along what I'm going to do. So if you're lost, look up here. Derivative first, which really is 3, times the second. Well, the second really is x minus 2. Minus the derivative of the second really is 1 times the first, that's 3x plus 1. All over, see? I put it all over. The second squared. The second squared really is x minus 2 all squared. We leave the bottom alone. Don't multiply it out. Just leave it the way it is. So what you want to do is expand out the top part and simplify top right now. Which gives you 3x minus 6 minus 3x minus 1. Be careful about that one. That's a minus 1 right here, not a plus 1. All over. See, I'm going to leave the bottom the way it is, x minus 2 squared. And if you did this correct, you should have negative 7 over x minus 2 all squared. And that is your derivative. Okay, no fancy formulas. I just use what I just talked about in my head. And you get it right every single time. Try one more. And then I'll give you some questions to work on. What if I give you this? Y equals to root x minus 1. Root x plus 1. What does y prime equal to? I'm going to pause it. So if I were to look at this, and then I take the derivative first, the derivative of the first, which really is root x minus 1, becomes 1. Now, if you're lost, I'm going to do it over here just to show you. Root x equals to x power 1/2, which becomes 1 over 2 root x. Okay. Remember, oh, by the way, guys, here's a little hint. Remember this. Root x will always become 1 over 2 root x. From if you do the derivative correctly, it saves you a lot of time because there's going to be a lot of square roots that's happening later. So I know that for a fact that equals 1 over 2 root x times root x plus 1. Okay. Minus derivative of the second. Root x, again, I know for a fact, is 1 to root x. Times root x minus 1 all over root x plus 1 all squared. Try to do it using positive exponents. It's a bit more challenging. But if you're planning to go to university, they prefer positive exponents more. Okay? Because why? Positive exponents, you can actually see things cancel out. Now I'm going to FOIL. Please don't leave it like this for me to do it. You have to carry it on now. This, I'm going to pause it. Actually, so if I were to expand, you should have 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 root x minus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2 root x all over root x plus 1 all squared. So take a look at my work compared with your line. See if it matches up. If it doesn't, let me know which one you have made a mistake on. So now, I just go ahead and look at this and I see what I can merge together. I know I can merge together, so 1/2 is gone. Question is, what's 1 over 2 root x plus 1 over 2 root x? What does that really become? What does it become? It actually becomes 1 over root x, correct. Please do not say, so that's 1 over 4 root x. No, 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 no. That becomes 1 over root x. Now, if you're lost where it came from, watch what I'm going to do. My denominators are the same, so I can write down 2 over 2 root x, which becomes 1 over root x. All over root x plus 1 all squared. Problem is, I can't leave it like this because it's a fraction on top of fraction. So let's rewrite this into something a bit more nice. So that becomes 1 over root x times root x plus 1 all squared. I'm going to pause it. That is your lesson for today. So your work is this, and that's it.